Welcome back to the Bright Light Wellness YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me. I am so glad you are here with me. Today, I want to chat with you about another really big polychrest homeopathic remedy, sulfur. Man, this is such a big remedy, and it's so much to say about this remedy that I don't know. I can only say a little bit, probably. I can't share everything, but I'll do my best to give you a good synopsis about what the picture of a sulfur looks like, right? Remember, in homeopathy, we don't treat certain diseases or certain disease diagnoses. We treat the person on the physical, mental, and emotional level. So we're treating the symptoms that the person is expressing on all these levels, and this will support the health and the healing of that person. Homeopathy uses the premise of like cures like, so we give a substance that would cause these symptoms in a healthy person, but can cure these symptoms when the frequency, the vibration resonates with the illness, right? And then it will cure or support, I like to use the word support on this channel, that illness. So, of course, we're going to take into the mental, emotional. That's actually where we, look to more when we're prescribing with homeopathy. We want to really take a look at the mental, emotional of a person. And sulfur has a really big ego. Okay. So when you're looking at a sulfur person, they're going to have a big ego. They're going to really think that, and it's really probably is coming from a deep insecurity typically, but they have a big ego. They might do a lot of bragging. They might be very boastful. But they're also kind of lazy. so they might be like, have a big ego, but they're very lazy kind of constitution, right? They just don't want to do things. They're kind of unmotivated. They don't really want to, they're just lazy. They are very dirty, messy. They don't give a crap about like how their house looks, or like that's not important to them. They just don't care at that time. So they're very, very messy. They're way more interested in intellectual things than they are like cleaning the house or keeping their room messy. I had a friend who had a sulfur constitution, and I can think about this now. She was a teacher. I was a teacher in my past life, right? I taught special ed, and I co-taught with a friend of mine, and she was so a sulfur. Like in my classroom was always neat and organized, and I had to have a place for everything. Very much the opposite, more like an Arsenica Malbum. You have to have everything in its place and organized, very OCD like. I know where everything is. I know when I'm teaching this, when I'm doing that. But she was a total sulfur, very opposite of me. So there would be like shit everywhere, literally, like all the time. I'm like, hey, so and so, where? I'll say Jen. Hey, Jen, where's this? And she'd be like, it's like underneath like a bunch of papers that are all over. And she's like, it's on this post-it right here. Like, it's just like everything's a disaster when in a true sulfur state, typically. But they know where things are, but it's just like a big mess. Okay. And the mess doesn't bother them. And Arsenica Malbum, the mess is going to really bother them, right? Like, it depends on the state that you're in. I've been in both in my life. I mean, we can go in and out of these different states easily, depending on what's going on with our body, right? But anyway, so that's the kind of picture of how they are. They are usually pretty extroverted. They are really usually very intelligent. They have a lot of theories and philosophies about things in life, so they're very intelligent people typically. They have anxiety about their health for sure, but their anxiety is more towards the health and the well-being of their children. They really worry about their children. A sulfur their kids are going to be out. They're going to stay up all night thinking about it. They're going to worry about their kids excessively. Remember, homeopathy is only a symptom if it's too excessively that they worry about their kids' health. They are critical of themselves and others, and they also have a very strong fear of heights, like calp carb. Calp carb is the other main remedy for fear of heights, as well as argentum nitricum. But sulfur also has a great fear of heights. They don't like heights as well. They don't like to even be in a high place usually. Okay. They are warm people. Sulfur has a very warm temperature. Well, calp carb, remember we did a video on calp carb, is a very chilly patient. A sulfur is warm. In fact, so warm that they will stick their feet out of the covers every night because their feet get hot and they are a warm person. They don't really do well in the sun. It's too hot for them. They don't like the sun. They do better in cold temperatures. My youngest son, has such a sulfur layer, and he's totally fine he will go outside in the snow in short sleeves and it doesn't bother him. And to me, that's okay because I know that's part of his constitution, that he gets very overheated quickly and the cold doesn't bother him like it does other people. So sometimes we don't see that. Like everybody's different and unique. Everybody's their own unique snowflake. And some people the cold will really bother and some people it won't. Okay. Sulphur also has a huge appetite, really big appetite. They love food. They love all kinds of food, really every kind of food. They enjoy it. And they usually will feel really hungry at 11 a.m. That's usually their time when they feel very hungry. No matter what time they have breakfast, 11 a.m. they have to eat. They don't like, they are usually have a lot of skin issues, a sulfur patient. So they're going to have, hives and breakouts and acne and eczema, psoriasis. All these things are going to be worse bathing, especially warm bathing or worse heat. So they take a warm shower and they're more itchy. They don't like to be in a warm bath. They're going to be more aggravated. So sulfur is aggravated by heat in all ways. They go outside and they perspire and they're more itchy, right? They're very itchy. They can even itch till it bleeds. They can be so itchy. Their pains in general are burning. A sulfur pains are burning. So whether that's on the skin, whether it's in the stomach, whether that's in the bladder, whether it's in the joints, their pains are going to be burning in nature. Yeah. They sulfur can be good for obviously acute situations or for chronic health issues. It can treat both. All remedies really can treat both acute and chronic health issues. So it's a really good remedy for, say, conjunctivitis. It's a really good remedy for ear infections. It's a really good remedy for colds, flus, respiratory infections. It treats many things. A sulfur is going to be quite smelly and have a lot of offensive smells. So their urine, their stool, their sweat is all going to smell probably pretty bad. They may have allergy type symptoms. That's usually a common sulfur symptom. They have a lot of strong desires for foods, sweets, chocolate, especially around their menses. If you're a woman, chocolate around the menses is especially true for a sulfur patient. They like ice cream, fat, spicy foods, alcohol, beer, whiskey, meat, and apples. Those are a lot of their cravings. But they have strong aversion to eggs. They do not like eggs, especially soft egg yolks. And that's because obviously there's a big sulfur component in eggs, right? But they don't do well with those. They also have an aversion to olives, sometimes for squash, for sour foods. Liver is another one, and fish can be an aggravation for them. Again, big appetite. And they have also, like phosphorus, we just did recently. I've put that video out. They have a strong desire for ice cold drinks. Again, they can have the gastritis, they can have ulcers, peptic ulcers. And again, these ice cold drinks can help alleviate that. And that is why they desire ice cold drinks. They often, a sulfur is going to have diarrhea. That is a typical sulfur state, is the person has a lot of diarrhea that burns, and it will drive them out of bed in the morning, where they have to have a stool first thing in the morning around 5, 6 a.m., maybe even a little bit later, but more 5, 6 a.m. And they have to go for a stool, and they have diarrhea, and it usually burns. It doesn't feel comfortable coming out. They have a lot of gas and it's really smelly, and the whole house is like, oh God, yeah. Or if they go to the bathroom, the whole house is like, oh my God, gross, you stink. And sulfur is a big detox remedy. And usually detox pathways are kind of jammed up in a sulfur, and this is why it can really be supportive. Yeah, they can have left shoulder pain is a good one for them. Their feet are usually hot, burning. They don't like to wear shoes. Their feet are always hot and burning. They want to stick them out of the covers at night. This is where they let out a lot of their heat. And sulfur can have a specific type of insomnia where they fall asleep they can fall asleep okay, fine, no problem. They fall asleep, but they wake up about 3 to 4 hours later and they're restless, tossing and turning. They can't get comfortable. And this is when their insomnia begins. So they sleep well in the beginning, but then towards the end of the night, they can't sleep well. Yeah, and they prefer to sleep on their left side. And again, it's a great skin remedy as well. So those are some of the different symptoms that we look for when trying to see if someone's in a sulfur state. Sulfur can be a very deep acting chronic remedy for health conditions. It supports the miasm of Sora, which is the original miasm that causes disease. It's a very big anti-psoric remedy because it's a skin remedy. And when anything's coming on the skin, that's always a good sign. We never want to suppress that. I just want to say that right now. When you have something coming out on the skin, I know it's not comfortable, it doesn't look good, but the skin is our largest detox organ. And when you have things coming out, this is the way that the body is releasing it. If we have all of these issues and toxins and crap in our organs, this is much worse. So we want to let that shit out, really, and not suppress it, because when you suppress it, you just drive that pathology back deep into the body. Hahnemann, the founder of homeopathy, I'm reading this amazing book about everything that's been suppressed on the skin level. And it was like, and the diseases that ensued. And I'm talking things like eczema and cradle cap and ringworm and these simple things that are on the skin, boils, whatever. You're pushing the disease back into the liver. You're pushing the disease back into the kidneys or the spleen or the stomach or the chest, right? We want to let it out. So your body makes no mistakes. It is highly intelligent. And when it's letting something out, we need to let it express. If you need support with helping that, that's what my job is. I can help you support that, but it will absolutely probably need to express more before it gets better, because we have to let it out. And a remedy will help support your body in letting the things out that needs to come out. Okay. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, hit like, subscribe, send me in the comments your questions. Let me know what other remedies, material medicas you want me to teach you about, and how I can support your health in other ways. Of course, I am taking new homeopathy clients, so you can book in with me at brightlightwellnesscoach.com, book an initial session there. And if you think you're in a sulfur state, sulfur is a very deep acting remedy. So I never would want somebody to just go and take that. And when homeopaths not only will find the right remedy to match you to help support your health and healing, but they will also help decide on the potency, the frequency, and all of that, which can be kind of tricky because it depends on your level of health and where you're at, what your body can handle, how sensitive you are, if you're taking medications, all the things, right? So a homeopath will help you navigate that process, and then help decide if sulfur is the right remedy for you now, or if it's going to be the right remedy for you maybe later on down the line. Okay, because we always want to get to the uppermost layer. That is really, really important. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please, subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can learn more. Yeah, keep it going, because that when you subscribe, it helps me grow, help the channel grow, and then helps me push out more content. And yeah, love to support you on your health journey. I also have a bunch of homeopathy courses that I've just put out. It's really a big passion of mine to get people interested in learning about homeopathy as medicine, or homeopathic medicine in general, and how to support acute and chronic conditions, but specifically in acute care as well. So I have different courses that you would take on ear infections, influenza, first aid care, which is a great way to start using homeopathy and learn how to build your homeopathic kits to have at home, and UTIs, which also supports kidney stones, kidney infections, bladder infections, all of that. So check out those courses as well if you're interested, and I will get you on the next video. Have an awesome rest of your day.